Today I want to show the demonstration how to build up the subassembly. First, you need to new the assembly files and then insert the PCB block. The first component is the fixed part, and then insert again for the components like the IC or capacitor or resistor. You just insert all of the electronics component here. Before you mesh the components together, you can use the rotate component. Rotate that component first. And then move components closer to that rectangular slot. And then using the mate from that vertex to that vertex, point to point. First one, mate again, point to, not the edge, is point to point. So you can use another mate again to fix this component. You can use the mate face to face and then make it for the parallel. And then you can see the mate, we have got two coincidence and parallel together to fix that IC components into your PCB. And then you can see we have got the resistor, but the resistor, I think you need to use the rotate component before you mesh the components into the PCB block. Move it. So you can mesh from face to face to make it concentric. Concentric is the same center. So that one to that face again. You can see when you just make two concentric together, you can see we have got the same center right now for the resistor. And then how can we fix it into your PCB? You can use the distance to fix it. So you can use that face, mate it, and then go to the previous view, that view. You can have the distance for the flipped dimension. You can just make 3 millimeters to insert your components into your PCB. So when you just make the distance here, you can add the features to change the length, maybe 2 millimeters. You can see it will just change it because we use distance to fix the face-to-face distance here. For that one, I think you can use the control to add one more face, because I use that face and then press the control in your keyboard and then rotate it, because I want to rotate that face. Using control to select these two faces and then using the mate here. So you can see mate is coincidence. And then mate again, face to face again, to fix into the rectangular slot. That one, using control key and then rotate it. That face and then mate it together. So you can see when I match the component using the face to face, it will go to coincidence over concentric, because you can see that one. How can we fix it? You can use face to face again for the distance, because that one you have got the face here, and then using control to rotate it, select that face and then mate it using the distance, flip dimension, and then you can make 2 millimeters here. If the distance is not correct, you can right click to edit features to make it shorter or longer. So I think that one, if I insert one, I can use linear pattern for the component. So you can see that one, if I insert two, I need to use the two skills to do it. One is face to face and then face to face again to fix it, because we have got the cylinder here. That one, we use the mate and then face to that face. And the other one is that face made with that one. You can see coincidence again, concentric again. If you use the coincidence, you can make the distance, because that one you can edit it. And then because the default, you just got a few default here, so maybe face to face you can use the concentric. But if I delete that mate using edge to edge, you can use the coincidence here. So I think we can use different way to mate it together, but I think that one you can use face to face to make the concentric, and then using face again to fix it, because we can use that one face and then mate it that face, and then you can see the distance, flip dimension 2 millimeters again, and then you can fix the components into your PCB. So I think you can insert the capacitor and then using the mate again for that component, but I will use the linear pattern because I can measure the distance in between these two holes. You can go to that one and then using evaluate, measure the hole distance, that one to that one. you can see is center distance is 8 millimeters. So when I use the linear pattern, I just make it that component, click into the component capacitor, and then using linear pattern, direction is that one, correct direction, because you can reverse the direction or you can just make the correct one. So I think the direction one is that one. You can click into the arrow or you can click that one, reverse your direction here, and then you can see is 8 millimeters for the spacing in between the center to center point. So I can just make number of object is 2. So you can see the preview object here. So when you just make it, you can see it will fix in that location. You do not need to insert again for the capacitor and then using the mate again to make it, because I use the linear pattern in that assembly file. That's all of my demonstration. Thank you.